Hello, my lovely spectators. Dee Dee here, and welcome to my studio. So today's 3 under 30 is gonna be like, let's get rid of some of those paper pads that we necessarily aren't using, or maybe we are just like, meh, don't have some mojo. Maybe it'll jumpstart that. But it's gonna be a simple, quick, almost a mass make. So let me show you what we're using. Of course, we'll need to cut, and then we'll have some corner rounding, some tag making, some stamp making. These in this thing, yeah, stamp making, and we have like a hole punch. Maybe do some inking. I have some washi instead of an actual stamp for what I want to show you, and also a hole punch. I have a 2-inch hole punch. Okay, so yeah, a lot of little tools, but it's not I mean, probably something that we all have. Let me speed this up. No one's mentioned this, but like, should I start this before, because it can be kind of loud. All right, so I have my light as best as I can. My light in my house, because right now my studio is in my living room. Trying to put on as much light as I can to help with the ambience, and I just have my fake art glitter glue. All right, so let's get this started. Let's see. Start. Okay. Let's put it somewhere. Yeah, that's okay. You can see it there. All right. So this is what we're going to be working with. This is what's going to be cut. This is a 6x6, and the numbers here on the page are how I'm going to be cutting it, and these are the intended items. Okay. So an envelope, a tag, a circle, a label. We're going to have some faux paper, you'll see what I mean, and a topper. Okay, so I'll bring that back later. This is what I have. I have 4 sheets of paper. These all came from a collection that I got from Hobby Lobby, which was travel themed or whatever. I really didn't even look at the direction of anything. So let's take a look. This one has a little bit of directionality. This doesn't. This kind of has some words here, but maybe we can avoid that. I'm not sure. This possibly, maybe not. Who knows where that's gonna wind up. So the only one for this particular thing is this guy right here that I'm gonna have to worry about. Now it's super thin paper. It's 6x6. So if you have a paper pad that you want to like bust out some papers and really like, get into that, you could do this on a regular. Find 4 sheets that coordinate with each other, and you'll be able to do this little technique pretty simply. Like I said, I cut these out of a 12x12, so I have more of this because I didn't really have a paper pad that everything is locked up right now. It's like I'm still unpacking from 3 years ago. Anyway, my bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to be cutting the paper in a couple of different ways. Okay, so let me bring this up to here. I have the Tim Holtz one, so let me pop out the score blade. We're not going to need that. Make sure that that's in there. Hopefully this blade is good enough. Okay, I'm going to go to the first cut. It's going to be at 3 3/4. So I'm going to be looking over here for you guys. You can see that 3 3/4, and I'm going to cut that down. Okay, so that's my first cut right here. I'm going to go down here, 3 3/4. Okay, now the bigger piece, okay, I am going to hold off on. And then I'm going to, I'm going to do the bigger piece first because it just needs one more cut. And that's to make a square. So I'm going to turn it. And I'm going to do it at 3 3/4 again. Line that up. Okay. So I have these 2 pieces. Okay. So I have this piece and the top piece. I don't think you could see all of it up here. I'm just putting it out of my way. Now, this sliver here that we just cut, it says that I need to cut a circle out of here. Okay, so I don't want to cut the rest of it because then I won't be able to get my circle punch in there. So what I'm going to do is I want to get the circle in there just to the point where I kind of know that the circle is done, because I don't want to lose the rest of my measurement. Okay, so I know that the width is going to work. I just want to make sure that I cut a circle out. So I'm going to cut this down in a minute. Let's grab another one. Let's see. Yeah, let's just do this guy. So again, as close to the edge that I can. I don't want to waste too much paper. Okay, so you see I'm trying to get as close as possible up there. Okay. Again, another one more time. We're going to do this 4 times. Okay. See, nice and close, right? And one more time. Okay. Okay. Now, you'll see what we're going to do with that. So this came out of this little corner over here, and I'll bring this back in a few minutes and show you the measurements one more time. So from the bottom here is 2.5. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do 2.5. So 2.5. So you see I'm at 2.5, and I'm going to cut that. Okay. Then this guy here has to be 1.25. So I'm going to keep those together. I'm going to go to 1 inch and 1/4. Okay, making sure 1.25. Right, 1 inch is here, 1.25. Making sure that everything is nice and straight. 1.25. So this is why the circle, it would fit perfectly in here. You have a little bit of wiggle room, but now this is the only real trash that we're gonna have. Okay, the last little thing that I want to do is I want to cut this down by like 1/2 inch. Okay, so it's 1/2 inch. We're gonna take 1/2 inch off. So I'm gonna use this over here. You won't be able to see too well. I'm gonna line this up over here. I'm gonna bring this down. I'm gonna move this up here, and I'm gonna plunge cut. So I'm dropping my blade in. I'm going up and I'm going down. Okay, so I have a little sliver here. So that's all I need the trims for. So let me show you what we got. Okay. All right. Okay. So we have a section here. We have a section here. This little section right there. A section that's here. There. We've got the circles that are there. Okay. And this is here. So this is what we're doing to our 6x6, right? We're creating these pieces. Okay. So the reason why I have 4 pages, and we are going to make 4 of these items, even though it's a 3, but still, you know, because we're maximizing. I love to maximize when I craft. I want to make sure that, you know, I'm not losing a lot. So you saw the little bit of scrap that we had, right? So these 2 items are actually going to go together. Okay. And then the other items are, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and this item is going to go with this. Okay. So let's make some stuff, and then I'll show you. We have a circle. We have this. So let's do this right away. Okay. Because my paper is thin enough, I can do this. I'm going to take my chomper thingy to make the corners of a tag, and I'm able to punch them all together. Okay. And then I'm also going to punch my little hole. I have gotten this guy. This is like heavy duty. I think it was like 16, I want to say dollars. He does a hole and he does the slots. So I want to put a slot. I'm kind of digging that on the tags right now. So I'm going to try to eyeball the center, and I'm going to put that little hole there. Okay. So we're kind of done with what we need to do for now there. Okay. The next thing that's really super fast and easy is to take these little guys. So this is the 1/4, and this is going to be intended to be like a label. Okay. So it's not a stack label, but it is a label but I wanted to kind of have a little bit of a ticket. So I have this one. I bought this, and a corner rounder as a set. So I want to take these, stack them together again because my paper is kind of thin. And I want to do the ticket punch. So that's this one here. You could do anything. I just want to have the ticket punch. So I'm going to have that there. Does it feel like it's 3D because it's coming at you? Because it's flying into my face. These little pieces. But that's all good. Okay. All right. So now we're kind of done with that. And taking it out of my way. We're not doing anything special to the circle. And right now we're not doing anything special to this. What we're going to do next is to take the squares. Okay. So we did a 3 3¾ and 3 1/4 square. A 3 3/4 and a 2 1/4 tag. That left us with the width being 2 1/4. So we have a label that's 2 1/4 by 1 1/4. And then we have this faux paper, right? It was 2 1/4. So we broke it down to 1 3/4 and the 1 inch, 1/2 inch right there for the topper. So the circle fits perfectly in here and it's a 2-inch circle. So this is the map of how to break down the 6x6 paper pad page. Okay. So now that that's done and we've already attacked and kind of done what we needed to do here, so to say, we want to make some envelopes. Now, if you guys have been watching a lot of Margaret's videos, she does her own envelopes, right? And it's super simple. We're going to need a ruler. I wish I had a short ruler, but I don't. So we'll just take this. Okay. We want to go on the back side of the ruler. Okay. And we're going to need to do each one individually. So we're going to do the back side of the ruler and we're going to take a pencil and we're going to corner to corner, right, across the diagonal of the square. We're going to make a little mark there. We're going to turn it and we're going to then do another diagonal the opposite way, and that what that does is finds the center of the square and you make yourself a bunch of equal isosceles triangles for sure. Okay, so we did that on one. I'm gonna mark them all up first. Okay, so this is why, you know, considering calling it like a little bit of a mass make, a mojo kind of hopefully jumpstart thing once you see what I'm talking about. Okay. And maybe some of you can guess what I'm doing. If you've already guessed what you think I'm going to be doing with all these bits and pieces, you know, pause it, write in the comments, yeah, I think you're doing da-da-da-da, and then see if I'm, you know, doing what it is you thought I was doing. Okay, so, now you can use any kind of paper that you want in terms of like design. You want to probably pick papers that are more generic. You could have used book papers, cut them down to 6x6, atlas papers. Use a book page, use an atlas page, use a nice botanical with some florals on it. Any kind of pictorial, something, you know, interesting to look at, a ledger, etc. Something with 3 different varieties that kind of like is a neutral base. This was more specific because it was from a travel thing. So I just was like, well, when they coordinate with each other and they come from the same source, then it's kind of like, you know, easy go-to, right? So I'm just getting some stuff out of my way. Okay, so now, you know the drill. We take our corner, bring it up to that center, right? Burnish it down. We take the other one, bring it up to meet right there in the center as well. Okay, we look at it, we have a flap and we have another flap, right? With this case, I would be more concerned about what I'm going to see with this being open. So I think that I want this guy to be the bottom. Okay. And yeah, Okay, now if you want to have the little bit of a bend here, you can just do the bend so that it's there, but then just open it right back up. So normally we would probably cut out these little triangles. If the paper was super thick and hard and heavy, I would cut these out. But the paper is not that thick, so I'm just gonna glue them down right away. So for this paper, which is that Hobby Lobby kit paper, okay, I still want the envelope to function as an envelope for later on, okay? So there we go. I'm also going to make it look pretty and put the little corner rounder there, okay? So let's make the other three, right? Do the same thing. Ooh, the congestion is getting better, but not so much. It's not 100% yet, okay? So here we go. This may not look like everyone's jam because of the paper that I've chosen to do, but on a little bit of a bend, right? Go into the center, make sure it's there, okay? And then I'm gonna bend this right at the spot because I'm gonna leave, it's gonna be left open, right? So then I'm gonna erase this pencil mark, okay? We're going to glue it right away. But if you have a travel journal that you're working on or something like that, then you know what, you might have this bright paper, and we are going to do some little distressing if I have the time, just because, you know, a little bit of inking always makes a big difference. Okay, so let's see. Yeah. What I'm doing is I want this one to flap up. I like this color to flap up better than the pink. So I'm doing these two across from each other. Okay, and then this one is across from each other. And this is kind of like a strategy that I got from card making as well, you know. So card making has some different skill sets. Not much. Not skill sets. Let me not say skill sets. We do things differently for paper. We treat it differently. We have different expectations, I think, maybe. And I'm just trying to see if I can mash them up together. So, okay, and so, whew. Okay, let's close it up. Okay. Now, did I really have to erase the pencil? Not really, but if you decide to not do the next step to the envelope that I'm doing, then you would need to have erased it. So I'm just erasing it for the sake of erasing it. All right, now this was the only one that was directional. So I feel like I want to see this. Do I want to see this? That's looking more upside down. Do I want to see this? Do I want to see that? So I kind of like this one. So that's going to be the flap coming up. That means that if this is what I want to see, right, then these are the two on this side that I need to fold towards each other first. Okay, so I'm taking care of the sides first. Okay, and getting those to match in the middle, right? And then when I come down here to the bottom, you see how I see the side that I wanted, and I have some more directionality that I'm paying attention to. So that's what I like. Okay, and we're gonna just fold this up a little bit. Okay, and we're gonna glue this guy down. All right, so I have one other thing to do to put together before I do the trick of today's projects. Okay, so we got 4 little envelopes, right? And they're all the same size pretty much because, you know, there's slight differences because depending on how much you folded this up. But we've got 4 little envelopes. We've got 4 circles, 4 tickets or labels, and then we have 4 of these guys, which are called faux paper, 4 tags, and 4 toppers. So the toppers need to go with the tags. Okay, so I'm gonna just pick. You could put them all to be white if you wanted to because you have white on the back, right? But you are gonna see the other side. So I'm just gonna mix and match Don't really matter which one I put. Okay. And I just fold it over like that, and I make my little topper. I'm going to take the next one. Let's say I'm going to have the white on the top just because it fits in here. So that punch that I have, it fits a 1/2 inch. So that's why I did a 1/2 inch. Okay. I'm going to fold it like this. I'm going to put some adhesive just to hold it down, right? You can put twine, you can put actual ribbon, but I'm just trying to show you. Now, I don't want to put the same thing on the same tag, so I'm going to put this one over here. Okay. And go like this. So I'm just showing that I'm using all the paper pattern. Only had that little bit of scrap that went around the circle. Okay, and then this last one is this. Wow, that's a lot of pink. Just to have a little bit of the variety over here. Okay, okie dokie. All right. So going back to the card making ramblings that I was doing before. Basically, we have this technique that when we want to mass make cards, whether they be Christmas cards or whatever, it's like a patchwork kind of technique. Why am I trying to close the glue? And what we do is we kind of, we start with one, we cut them all out, right? Like squares, rectangles, whatever, that fit onto a picture, a frame, that, or a piece of matting that matches the size of a card, which is usually 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, right? So kind of doing the same thing. I'm going to put one here, one there, and one there. Now what I want to do is I want to take the next element, right, which is the circle, and I want to put it on something different. So let's say I put that here, I put this one there, I put this one here, and I put this one there. Okay. The next thing I want to do is to tuck in an envelope. So since you have the green here, I'm going to put the green there. Okay. I'm not going to do this because this matches. So I think I might put it there. I can't put this here because that matches. That's not going to work, right? So I got to rethink. So we're going to set it up like that. We're going to put this one here and we're going to put this one there. So everyone is getting a different piece of the 4 different papers, right? And so we have the last element, which is the tickets or the labels, right? So this is not represented here, so we're going to put that there. The green is not on this one, so we're going to put that there. This one is here, it's there, and it's there, so we're going to put it here. And this one is here, it's there, and it's over here, so we're going to put that there. So what we're doing is we're alternating and mixing and matching, and what we're going to do is we're making a cluster. We're making clusters that we can add to our pages, okay? Let's put one together, okay? So I am going to ink a little bit because I do want to have a little bit of that grunge that we're known for as part of junk journaling, right? I wish I had, done that little bit right here beforehand, but we'll figure it out, okay? At this point, once you glue them all together, or before you glue them all together, because now that you have them situated, you can take out some of your other pieces, such as your labels, little labels, your stamps and stuff like that, to add even more, right? But these are good bases. So we're going to have everybody all nice and inked up. Okay, we're going to have good bases. Okay. And it is thin paper for this particular one. Maybe you might have something thicker. So I'm just trying to be as gentle as possible to not kind of mess that up. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. We're going to ink them all. So now I'm going to go ink this guy up. His little collection over here. Right? Try to be as neat as possible. Okay, now if you were counting, you know that there's still one off here to the side. That is my faux paper. Can you guess what I'm going to do with that? So if I have an envelope, I need to have a paper, right? So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that. Okay, So let me just get through inking a few of them. I want to try to ink them all and get them all done, even though there's no additional decorating, because we're already using paper that has decoration on them. So with intent. I know that I've seen, we see labels that have different destinations on them and stuff like that. So you can definitely get labels from different people who do digitals to add. I know that somebody out there has like a coordinates little tabs. I think it's Tracy Fox, and you just, what do you call it? You can pick a coordinate, and it has a coordinate like a little label, and you can add that to the cluster. You can add other things to the cluster. You can add tickets to the cluster. If you want to add it beforehand, by all means, if you know you're going to do this and you're not just using this to kind of like, build your mojo, then, you can do all kinds of things. All right. This is, I got 5 minutes. I don't know. I'm going to ink 3 of them, and I guess I'm going to stop because it's 3, right? That's the requirement, and I want to be able to put this together for you guys. All right. So what we're going to do is, get rid of some of the little pieces of stuff. So I'm not going to put this little setup here together. Well, we're going to start. So the tag is like the base of this, with this guy coming in here. The circle could be over here. It could be back here. That's up to you. And the label could be right here. Or it could be like this, whichever you want. So I'm going to build off of this guy. So I'm going to put some adhesive over here. Okay. And I'm going to attach the envelope right there. Okay. I'm going to attach the label like this with it hanging over. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to be able to add more to that. And then I'm going to look at it and be like, where can I put the circle? Okay, I could put the circle in between. I feel like then you have to do that. So I think I'm just going to tack it right about here. So we're just going to put some of that circle peeping out right there. Okay, let's see, like that. All right. And there you go. You have a cluster. Now, the faux paper, how does that work? Well, they're all white on the back, so for me it doesn't really matter. I can actually just take the one that matches if I wanted to. And what you could do is you could stamp text on there, like a text stamp, and that would be an easy way to kind of make it look like a letter. I have some washi that I'm gonna just put on here for now, because this is simpler. I'm gonna just fold it over. I'm gonna fold this over, and I'm gonna cut off this little bit because it's bothering me. Okay, and then I'm gonna tuck it in here, and there's your letter in your card, into your envelope. Okay, so you have this cluster made, and that's it. Now you have something that can go on a number of pages. You can now do another one with the same elements. Maybe I put this on the other side. So I'm gonna put the glue here. Okay, put it over here, right? Because I like the envelope there, that's there. So maybe I'll do the yellow over here in between. That might be a thing, right? I'm gonna put some glue there. Okay, while it's still a little bit movable, maybe I go like that, right? I have my little paper, and then I could even put my ticket up here if I wanted to see the envelope. Not the envelope, what is that? An airplane. I don't know how long it's been since I've been on an airplane. And I could put my little label up here. And now I've made my other cluster. And then again, take the paper that coordinates, right? And to do your stamping, whatever the case is, and make yourself your little letter. Okay, we'll do one more for the 3 projects. Again, we have that. We've done this. Let's see, kind of high, kind of low. Maybe I'll put it a little lower. for whatever reason. Don't know why. I want to make it feel bigger, you know. So you also maybe want to make it feel the way that it should. I'm going to put the little card in there right away. And then maybe I'll put this one up here. Put that one there. And then because this one has words that are coming out the other side, maybe I'm going to do that like this. Okay. So it's your preference on how you put them. Oops. So now you have some clusters ready to go and be placed in your journals. Okay, they are kind of big enough as well that if you wanted to put some glue here and here, right, and glue this guy down really well, so I would go in here and I would really affix him down so that nothing is really flip-flopping once I decide what I want to do with it. And then I could put him into a page by putting glue here and here, and then I could create a tuck spot with that. Okay, so hopefully this little project is going to help you kind of maybe build your mojo if you are ever stuck in a rut, or if you are, I don't know, wanting to kill some paper pads, right? Or just not sure how to build a cluster of things other than labels and stuff. Like, and you wanted to build a cluster, you have your mini-ish tag, mini envelope. You have a mini ticket or label. And then you just have a circle for an accent. And like I said, you stamp something on here, right? And then you add your other labels and other details on here. So I think it's a quick and easy kind of like builder, stash builder, stash builder, no, stash breaker, stash user, scrap user, I don't know, whatever you would call it. All right, let me stop this. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully that will give you some thoughts about, you know, how you can actually approach some of the projects, right? So I'm just going to finish off one more. I think I'm going to put this paper over here. And so yeah, so I will say that that as these weeks have been progressing and I've been enjoying trying to be creative and be clear and concise and bring something to the table that, you know, would interest you guys all, that I am super duper happy that people are coming to my channel, enjoying my content, and are subscribing. I'm really loving sharing with everybody and hearing what you have to say. I'm loving seeing people. I found many more content creators that I've now subscribed to, and yeah, so this is really been a very enjoyable experience so far, and I can't wait to bring more. So thank you so much if you've subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet and you like this, by all means subscribe, ring the notification so that you can know when the videos go up. I'm doing one a day. Don't know when, what time of day they go up. They go up when I'm done. When I get it and I'm done, I take my pictures, I make my thumbnail, and then I post it up to upload, and then I post it on Instagram with a little more close up. I'm not going to take pictures of the back of this one because there's nothing really there. But so this might be a really simple post with a trio, a quad, because I'm going to finish this one off, shot, and then zoom ins on each one. So again, please come back next time, and hopefully you'll enjoy what I have to bring to the table. Until then, ciao ciao, bye.